Hello, great people. World leaders have been lobbying President Bola Tinubu as the Federal High Court in Abuja remanded 109 foreigners in Kuje and Suleja prison. They are being accused of alleged cybercrime activities. These 109 foreigners are citizens of China, Indonesia, Philippines, Brazil, Malaysia, and some other countries. In this video, I'll be telling you the offense. I'll be diving deep into it. The offense that were allegedly committed by the foreigners of this country. We'll be dwelling into the realm of international relations and diplomacy to understand what Nigeria can achieve with this arrangement and how Nigeria can use it to strengthen its diplomatic ties with other countries. We will also be looking as past instances of this kind of cases, how Nigeria have handled it and what has come out of it for Nigeria. We will also be looking at the administration of President Bola Tinubu, particularly his foreign policy and the way it relates with the globe. We'll be looking at that. And also, I'll be giving you instances of the justice system in some of these countries. And that is why I need you in this video, because I want this video to be quite participatory. I would like you to tell me if you have lived in any of these countries, China, Indonesia, Philippines, Brazil, Malaysia, to tell me how their justice system is like to Nigerians. When Nigerians are being arrested for any infraction, have you witnessed it? Have you witnessed that of any of your friends for any kind of offenses? And what is your opinion about how these countries have treated or are treating Nigerians? I look forward to your comments in the comment section of this video. Now let us dive into this issue. The defendants, that is the 109 foreigners, were identified as citizens of China, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, amongst others. They are facing a 6-count charge at the Federal High Court Abuja of these offenses: conspiracy, unlawful access to data, marketing scam, computer-related fraud, money laundering, and illegal migration. Of all these offenses, two really caught my attention, which is that the unlawful access to data, that is a serious offense. Before a country can charge you for unlawful access to data, is it that these 109 foreigners, are they hackers that were brought into Nigeria? Are they trying to access government data, or they are charged on behalf of a private company in Nigeria? So more clarity needs to be stated as regards unlawful access to data, because data is something very serious. Data is confidential. If you have data about people, it's like you knowing everything about them. It's like the people are naked right before you when you have the data of people, especially when they are sensitive data, and the data can be used in different ways and different formats. So that really caught my attention, the word unlawful access to data. Then the other one is illegal migration. The reason why that caught my attention is that it is Nigerians that usually japa to these countries. If you go to these countries, China, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, Brazil, you see a lot of Nigerians there. Then that begs the question that, is it that the citizens of these countries usually come to Nigeria as well? Because most times what you get is that the citizens of a country that is less developed usually go to the advanced or developed countries. So that means that if the citizens of less developed countries usually go to countries that are better off, and the countries listed here are mainly better off than Nigeria, China, Brazil, Malaysia. These are countries that are better off. So that caught my attention. But then I just hope, and I believe you are hoping as well, that Nigerian government would be able to stand to the end. And I hope that as much as Nigeria is trying to prove a point, I just hope that Nigeria will not end up embarrassing Nigerians in the international scene. Because definitely the leaders of these countries would have been reaching out to Nigerian government. And one must salute President Bola Tinubu, because it is not easy to arrest the foreigners of different countries and arraign them. And that is my point, that I hope the police really have strong evidence against these citizens so that we can avoid international embarrassment. Because, and I just hope that Nigeria will be able to stand to the end, because it's either the case are not watertight as it is in the past, or Nigeria does not have the strength or the will to stand to the end, which is, I can give you an example. For instance, the case of the Briton that was arrested at the Labour House for alleged treason and trying to bring down the government of President Bola Tinubu. We've not heard anything about it anymore. There's no update. There's nothing other than the accusation that the Briton was trying to bring down the government of Bola Tinubu. And at the end of the day, we may not hear anything about the case again. We may not get anything. So I hope that the initial gragra, the local gragra that, the police usually have, and, the army, the DSS, I hope that they are not applying that in this case, because this is not within us. This is not we. This is not now we again. This is between Nigeria and the world, because these are citizens of from the Asian continent and the American continent as well. So if you look at it, you would see that another case is the recent one of Gambrayan, whereby Nigerian government accused him of 34 million US dollars. But at the end of the day, he was released and is now in the United States. So you want to imagine that, why will you accuse somebody of $34 million and you just release him like that? And that brings me to the issue that I hope that Nigerian government will treat these nationals the way their countries have been treating Nigerians. In the sense that if you go to some of these countries, if you go to these countries, which I look forward to your perspective or your experience in the comment section, the way they treat Nigerians is different from the way they treat other foreigners. I know that some Nigerians are bad. I know that some Nigerians go to the extreme. I know that some Nigerians could be very irrational. The ignorance, the disobedience to lawful authority that they usually exhibit in Nigeria, some carry the mentality abroad. That is quite noted. I note that. But at the same time, the way some of these countries treat Nigerians is nothing to write home about. So I hope that in this case, when the countries of these people that were accused are coming to plead on their behalf, I hope that Nigerian government will be wise enough. I hope that there will be intelligent people at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to reach out to the Nigerian embassy in those countries to be able to get inquiries about how those countries usually treat Nigerians. And I'll give you an example. For instance, in Malaysia, there is nothing you can do or say. If you are caught with drugs, there is nothing you can do or say. You will be executed. That is how it is. You will be, in fact, if you are obtaining their visa to visit the country, it is already, it has already been stated on the visa that if you are caught of any, you are caught with any illicit drug, it carries the capital punishment. And sometimes thorough investigation is often not being done, because the thorough investigation will need the collaboration of the Nigerian security agency. And I must say that we also have some bad Nigerian civil servant, or if you like, public servant, because they really don't go all out in the two sets of going on out for Nigerians that are being accused or arraigned or convicted in other countries. The way other countries usually lobby hard, the way they use international relations and diplomacy to kind of like make things happen for their citizens in Nigeria, you don't get that from Nigerian government doing that to their citizens. What am I even saying? Even when you are relating with Nigerian government abroad as a Nigerian, sometimes it's always a problem to renew your passport. Sometimes as a Nigerian, now you are relating with Nigerian government as a Nigerian in diaspora, it's a problem. You won't even get the passport. So Nigerian government should be able to inquire how they treat Nigeria. For instance, the issue of Malaysia that I gave to you, if they catch you with any kind of drug, you will be executed. Then I've been at KLIA before, which is Kuala Lumpur International Airport, whereby I saw the process where they want to deport a Nigerian. And I felt so cold shiver ran down through my spine because that Nigerian was brought in handcuff. You know those handcuff that they would handcuff your hand, handcuff your leg, then the chain will link the hand and the leg, those kind of handcuff, as if that person is the Bin Ladens of this world. And the person was being moved around the airport to the check-in counter. I felt so bad that day as a Nigerian, seeing my fellow Nigerian going through that treatment. So I hope that Nigerian government will be able to inquire how those countries treat Nigerians and give them the equal measure. If you are an ardent listener on politics, you would have heard me spoke about reciprocity and equal measure when it comes to international relations. So I hope that Nigerian government will be able to inquire. Then another thing is that the immigration, the drug, is something that country like Malaysia doesn't take for granted at all, and that is why I think that the Nigerian Security Agency will not sabotage Nigeria. That is my fear. Don't misquote me. We have some brilliant, good police officers, DSS officers, army officers. Shout out to them anytime, any day. They are doing a wonderful job. But then, as in every other society, we have bad eggs. So I'm hoping that the Nigerian security agencies will not sabotage the effort of the Nigerian government, in the sense that I hope that they won't, when they give them some juicy offers, they won't water down the charge or begin to tamper with evidence. Because there's one thing to establish a prima facie case, there's another thing to do diligent prosecution. It is also another thing for you to stand your ground. It will be interesting to see 109 foreigners in Nigerian prison as well, just as every major country you go, or any reasonable country you go to their prison system, you will find Nigerians there. So it will be quite interesting because the foreign security agencies, they don't compromise. When they apprehend you for any offense, majority of them, they don't compromise. Their interest is the interest of the country. And the reason why I'm saying this is that during the days of Buhari, I once read in the news that some companies will go from foreign companies, will go to the Ministry of Interior. That was when Rauf Aregbesola was the Minister of Interior, that they will go and secure employment pass for jobs that Nigerians can do. Is that not a sabotage in a country whereby graduates are being passed out from the university every year? NYC is releasing people after their service and they don't have a job. Then the job that Nigerian can do, you people, some of you at the Ministry of Interior, will still give employment pass to a company to go and bring foreigners to come and do the jobs that Nigeria can do. Some of these other countries, they don't behave like that. So I hope that the foreign and the local interest, the interest, national interest, will be at the heart of the police and the justice system and any other system that is involved. And I hope that at the end of the day, Nigeria will be able to stand its ground and not embarrass the country. One thing that I must state is that during the prosecution, they said that the employer, the people that employ those that were arraigned, seized their passport when they arrived in Nigeria. See, let us just educate ourselves. If you have anything to do with a foreigner, you see that issue of seizing passport. It usually happens to Nigerians abroad because Nigeria is not a strong country. Nigeria doesn't care. But it's totally wrong. You cannot seize the passport of another country. The passport of a country is the symbol of the sovereignty of that country. So you are not a citizen of that country, and the citizen of another country holding the valid passport, let's say a Nigerian, visits your country, and you have the effrontery to seize the passport of a Nigerian, you are holding the sovereignty of Nigeria, one of the symbols of sovereignty of Nigeria, into your hands. The question is, who are you to seize a Nigerian passport because you are employing someone that you know, because you want to pay that person some hundreds of dollars or few thousands of dollars, that is wrong. So if you are abroad and your passport is being seized, well, just know that it is so. You may not be able to fight it. Maybe that's the agreement you've had with your employer. But for the purpose of education, it is wrong. It is not right, and it is not the ideal thing. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politing with Dr. Omoshola. Dr. Deji is a political scientist with a PhD in political science. This is where we relax to analyze politics and happenings in the polity. Do you want to subscribe? Turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos, and of course, I have great, interesting videos coming your way. Till I see you again, always remember that I love you all sincerely.